right, so the Senate is coming back from Thanksgiving break, and they are going to be discussing the Build Back Better Act. That is the act, as far as we are concerned. There's a lot in it with the environment and as well as environmental issues. There's issues regarding child care, pre-K, free pre-K for all children. But as far as immigration's concerned, we've talked about it. It is the parole in place. It has passed the House of Representatives. They expect it to help at least 6.5 million people, probably more, maybe 6.5 million people on the Northeast. Anybody who was here prior to January 1st, 2011 would be included in this program. It would be a parole for 5 years. Parole makes you legal. And then you could renew it for another 5 years. For a total of 10 years, you would get a work permit, you get travel permission. The idea is that they can't, under this budget reconciliation, change the law forever, because that's changing laws, that's not doing a budget. So what the idea is, Jonathan, is that they're going to do something that's a 10-year program to raise money. Hopefully it will pass the parliamentarian in the Senate. If it does, it would give work permission, travel permission, which is basically what you get as a lawful resident for 10 years. And then the idea being, in 10 years, once all these benefits are given to tens and tens of millions of people, it's going to be a lot more than 6.5 million people. What history has always repeated itself for 250 years in the United States of America is, once Congress gives a benefit to anybody, whether immigrant, U.S. citizen, or whoever, once Congress gives a benefit, it's almost impossible to take it away.
Yeah.
Even think about Obamacare.
Yeah,
how the Republicans for 10 years tried to undo it,
yes.
and they couldn't undo it. Okay, so history is a guide that if this parole passes for 10 years, at a bare minimum, it'll be there forever.
Yeah.
If not, they'll perhaps change a law in the future to give people on parole green cards.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't mean that people who get parole, who were here prior to January 1st, 2011, meaning that you were physically in the United States from January 1st, 2011, all the way to the present time when Joe Biden potentially may sign this into law, that doesn't mean that you can't get a green card. It actually makes it easier for you to get a green card, because now people who are out of status are in status. People who did not make a legal entry would presumably have made this legal entry now by being granted the parole, or perhaps get the advanced parole travel document, travel out and return, making a legal entry, which would allow for adjustment of status. So it would potentially give people who are otherwise not eligible for a green card, who are married to U.S. citizens but came without inspection, for example, that would be the biggest group of people to ultimately adjust their status. It's the parliamentarian, yo-yo. It's that damn parliamentarian.
And that's the only thing that really scares me. It's like,
this woman.
This woman, because it's like we keep on coming with different plans.
I'm tired of looking at her smiling face.
And that picture, it's literally that picture.
I'm tired of looking at her smiling face.
There's nothing to smile
There's nothing to smile about until you say Plan C works. All right.
And it's like, you're not changing the law, so it's like, and we're bringing in money.
Parole status is a law already. There is a law for parole. It doesn't exist.
And we're bringing in money.
It exists,
like
and they're bringing in money by doing it.
What's the issue?
Now, she has rejected Plan A and Plan B. And Senator Manchin from West Virginia, he is like Republican Democrat. Okay, he is in the Democratic Party, but might as well be in the Republican Party because he has such conservative views.
Right.
He has said he will vote for the Build Back a Better plan for the immigration portion of it, as long as the parliamentarian says it's kosher. I don't think he used the word kosher.
Right.
I don't think he even knows what the word kosher means. But I know what it means. You know what it means.
I know what it means.
Okay, so if the parliamentarian says it's okay, he'll vote for it. If the parliamentarian says no, he won't, which is really bizarre to me, that this unelected woman has so much power.
Yeah.
I find that disturbing. I find it extraordinarily disturbing. We will know by Christmas.
Okay.
That's what Senator Schumer says.
Keep your fingers crossed, everyone.
Now, with this whole thing in the DREAM Act coming into the news for the last year and trying to pass the DREAM Act, CNN reported on Sunday that another group of children who are living in the United States who are not part of the DREAM Act and feel that they should be. And these are children who are legal in the United States of America on all sorts of different visas derivatively to their parents' visas. Children who are on H-4s because they're derivative on their parents' H-1B. Children who are on F-2 because they're derivative to their parents' F-1 student visa.
Right.
Children who are on E's and L's and all sorts of different non-immigrant visas. Children who are living in the United States who are children of diplomats who have been living here for 10, 15 years. What happens is when they reach 21, they got to figure it out for themselves. They fall out of status.
Right.
After living here legally for 10, 15 years. Now, a lot of times, children are fall out of status because their parents applied for their green card. They applied for their green card, but because of the visa waiting lists and now because of COVID, these green cards are taking forever and children are aging out.
Yeah.
So experts are saying there's about 200,000 children who are living in this limbo who potentially in the next 2 years or so will fall out of status, who have been living here for over a decade. Now, Dip Patel, he's a 25-year-old pharmacist and the founder of Improve the Dream. This is a group of documented dreamers. That's what they're calling themselves. They're documented now, but then they're all falling out of status when they're 21. And everybody knows these children.
Yeah.
Okay? They're pressing Congress and the Biden administration to help save their futures. Patel says the whole situation is something that most people don't really even know exists. That it's possible for a child to be brought here legally, live here legally, do all their education here, but still have no chance to become an American, then ultimately become illegal.
That's crazy. That's insane to me.
Yeah. Now, Lakshmi Pavanathan, I apologize, Lakshmi, for butchering your name. It's very long with lots of syllables. Yeah. She's 19 years old. She's a sophomore at Drexel University in Philadelphia, and she wants to become a doctor. She first came to the United States when she was 3 years old. She said she has tried to get a student visa to stay here past her 21st birthday because her parents have been on a waiting list for a green card for years. They still haven't gotten it yet. She's in legal status, but is going to fall out of status soon.
Yeah.
And she said she applied for her student visa 14 months ago and still waiting on it. And what she's really doing is she probably did a change of status, because if you go on the USCIS website, they're saying right now change of status to a student is 17 months. That's how delayed they are. Now, Julia Gallant, a senior policy analyst at the Migration Policy Institute, and this is says this issue is affecting obviously a lot of people. And she says one major reason is the green card backlogs are immense, just like we talked about, especially for people from India. India has a backlog that's 20 plus years for employment-based cases. It could take decades for them to even have a chance to apply. So basically, anyone who is from India, who's brought their children here on H-4s and they're waiting on employment-based cases for over a decade, all their children are falling out of status. And they got to either try to figure out how to get to a student visa or some other visa. And according to Julia Gallant, this means many people who came to the United States as young children are still waiting for their family's turn by the time they turn 21. Turn meaning getting their green card. And at that point, the adult visa holders' children are no longer considered dependents. And they're kicked out of line and forced to either remain in the United States illegally, change their status if they're lucky to do it. The parole status that hopefully passes, the Plan C, would help many of these children. Because if they were physically here before January 1st, 2011, even children who aged out and are now 25, 26, 27 and out of status, as long as they can prove you were here before January 1st, 2011, it will help them.
Okay.
But it doesn't help everybody.
Right.
But we're talking about it because these are children, hundreds of thousands of children were saying, oh, with the DREAM Act, why are we punishing children?
Right.
And here's a whole other group of children that the United States is punishing, yet nobody talks about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we thought it would be a good idea to discuss it a little bit.
I'm happy we did because could you imagine being here, like getting brought here when you're like 9 years old, and then all of a sudden like you're of age now, like 19, going to college, and you're screwed. Like
totally screwed.
You know nothing else.
Right.
Like you were brought here legally, and
what about that young girl from India?
Yeah.
She was from 3. Do you know the difference between me and that young girl who came here at 3 is? Nothing. Right? Jinx!
Right.
Jinx! Yo.
Thank you.
Okay. But we said it the same thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
That's scary.
Yeah, because, do you have any recollection of where you were before you were 3 years old? None.
No.
None whatsoever. So,
and imagine being a kid like who didn't even know that they weren't a citizen.
Right.
I'm sure there's a lot of those as well.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we still have to talk about Thanksgiving. Why not? It was a great holiday.
It was.
It was really nice because this was our first holiday, Thanksgiving, that we were able to get together with our families in 2 years.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. It felt really good.
And there was one special Thanksgiving story we saw that I thought we would talk about. There's a settlement program called Mary's List in Southern California, where you come from.
Where I just got back
where
from.
you just got back from. And they're helping Afghanis who escaped the Taliban resettle in the United States. And the group has been helping at least 20 refugee families. And next year, the organization is going to help hopefully 300 families. Now, one of the people, she was asked if she would host an Afghan family for their first Thanksgiving. So she was connected with the Ashgari family. And the Ashgari family, they came here as a translator and interpreter for the United States military in Afghanistan.
Oh, wow.
And Thursday was the first time that they had been invited by an American household to experience a Thanksgiving meal.
Oh.
And Ashgari had to explain to his children what turkey is because they didn't even know what turkey was.
Not the
Basically,
country.
he said it was just a big chicken.
Yeah.
And he said that every homeland, every nation, every people, every person, they've got a culture or tradition. So it is our first time, and now we want to learn a little bit about what this really is. Now, Naji is the gentleman, Kiki Naji is the woman who asked Mary Whitehall if she would host the Afghan family. She made a big turkey, cranberry sauce, potatoes, and spinach, but she also prepared a halal lamb to make sure the Ashgari family could have something familiar to eat. Now, Nagi was eager to not only introduce them to Thanksgiving dishes, but to also show them the tradition of giving thanks here in the United States. She said from the right and the left, everyone is kind of like, America has got problems, X, Y, Z. In the midst of this conflicting cultural moment, this narrative of division that we hear so much about, that there is something essential to the American experience that is rooted in gratitude, that's rooted in volunteerism, that you leave your country, you leave a situation, and you come here, sometimes with very little, sometimes with nothing, and you start over and you create this opportunity for your family. And of course, the Ashgari family, they were very thankful. They said, we may have more opportunities in our life in our hands. So of course, the foremost example is this, that we are together family. And, they had another person at this Thanksgiving table, and his name was Tam Van Tran. Now, Tran was a refugee from Vietnam in 1975, and his siblings arrived 1 week before the fall of Saigon, similar to many of the Afghans arriving right before the fall of Kabul. And Tran said, when I saw the photo of the Afghans in the cargo plane, it reminded me very much of I was in the same situation. It was just a gigantic cargo ship. And when Tran came to California, he was about the same age as Ashgari's oldest children. And he said he and his siblings escaped initially without their parents. So they were welcomed into a foster home in California, and he said he could offer the Ashgaris a warm welcome, brotherhood and camaraderie, and a sense, I went through the same experience in 1975.
Wow.
So this was their Thanksgiving.
That's awesome.
Which is very nice, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
It is.
And of course, Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah. Tonight is the second night of the Festival of Lights.
Yeah.
Tell me all you know about Hanukkah, Jonathan.
Just know it falls around Christmas and you light a light every...
Right, now it's very funny as everyone thinks that Hanukkah is Jewish Christmas.
No.
It's
that
not.
I do know it's not.
It is not Jewish Christmas. It commemorates the victory of the Maccabees in ancient Israel, going back to 165 years before Christ, when the Assyrian ruler Antiochus conquered what is now Israel, but I guess Judea, I guess it was called at the time, and forced all the Jews to worship idols. And the Jews banded together, kicked the Syrians out. See, they've been fighting for thousands of years,
Yes,
right? I
yes.
mean, it doesn't end.
It
All right,
doesn't
they're
end.
fighting from 2,000 years ago. And then they rededicated the temple to be able to pray to the one sole God.
Yes.
And they only had oil to light the temple for prayers in the evening for one night. But I guess divinity kicked in, and the candles lasted 8 nights, so they were able to pray for 8 consecutive nights, which is the miracle of Hanukkah.
There we go.
And why Jews give presents on Hanukkah? Because we're jealous of
I was about to
everybody
say.
celebrating Christmas,
Yeah.
so we should get some presents too.
I agree.
But giving the presents on Hanukkah has
Right.
nothing to do with the actual holiday. We just, American Jews, made it up.
right.
So happy Hanukkah to those who are celebrating.
Yes. Do you celebrate Hanukkah?
And by the way, Doug Emmeroff, who's the husband of Vice President Kamala Harris, he's Jewish, and he spoke at the National Menorah Lighting Ceremony on Sunday for the first night of Hanukkah.
Nice. Do you celebrate?
Not particularly, but it's nice to know that Hanukkah exists.
Yes. Did you when you were younger?
Yes, when I
Yes.
was younger,
Okay.
yes, yeah. But now I don't really do much anymore.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, I love the holidays, so.
But maybe I'll get myself a Christmas tree anyway.
I think you should.
Why not? Right?
Why
It's just
not?
festive. It has
It's
nothing.
just festive.
It has nothing to do with actual
Right,
religion.
right.
It's nothing like. It's
Yeah.
not like Jesus Christ is
Yeah,
like.
it's right.
It's
like
on the tree.
coming out of
It's
it.
right.
Yeah.
It's Santa.
I agree.
It's
I
Santa.
agree. Yes.
So it's
It just gives
festive.
you- it gets festive. It gives you a little warm feeling.
That's right. And this was good news. On Wednesday, 3 white men charged in the killing of Ahmaud Arbery.
Yes.
They were found guilty. Defendants Travis McMichael fatally shot Arbery. He was guilty on all charges. His father Gregory, who rode armed in the bed of a pickup as his son pursued Arbery, was not guilty of malice murder, but guilty on all the other 8 charges. And William Roddy Bryan, a neighbor who joined the pursuit and filmed Arbery's final moments, guilty of 3 counts of felony murder. They will all go to jail for life. And
Do you think they're actually going to go?
I believe so, and if not, they're going to be prosecuted federally. They'll be found guilty federally as well. So between state and federal, they will never see daylight again. Wow. That's my opinion.
Wow.
We'll see what happens. And on the stand, Travis McMichael claimed he acted in self-defense after Arbery grabbed his shotgun, but under cross-examination, he conceded that he told investigators he didn't know whether Arbery grabbed his gun or not, and that neither he nor his dad had mentioned the citizen's arrest to the police. Arbery had 2 gunshot wounds in his chest and a gunshot graze wound on the inside of one of his wrists. He did not have any drugs or alcohol on him. There was video surveillance of the home where the defendants claimed Arbery was inside or casing out, and the video showed he was never near that house, never on the person's property. And Gregory McMichael also suspected, it's right here, Gregory McMichael also suspected Arbery had been inside a home under construction, but the home's owner testified cameras had spotted other people, other children, a white couple trespassing on his property. He also said he never gave or authorized the McMichaels to enter his property or confront anybody. and at least I'm glad, at least in one of two trials, justice was served.
Yes.
Doesn't bring back Ahmad, though.
It does not. It does not.
And coronavirus, Jonathan, just when we thought it was over, we had the beta, we had the lambda.
Oh gosh, is there
Right.
another one?
We had the, what was the other one called? The delta.
The Delta.
It's like fraternities, right?
Yeah.
Right, we had the delta.
All the Greek letters.
Yeah, right, we had the delta.
So
Now
what-
we have the Omicron,
Oh god.
which is coming out of South Africa. And as soon as South Africans saw that this Omicron variant, they don't know if it's any more lethal. They don't know if it makes people sicker. They just know that it's more contagious.
Oh god.
And as soon as South Africa told the world they found this, what did the world do to South Africans?
Shut them down.
Shut them down. So you know what's going to happen the next time there's a new variant? No one's going to be saying nothing.
Right.
Because they don't want to be
Oh.
shut down. Telling you what's going to happen. Before we know it, there'll be a new variant spreading the whole world, and nobody will even know it exists.
But I mean, this is a way to, to protect.
I know.
So-
44 countries have restricted South Africans and several other African countries
gosh.
from entering.
So what are we supposed to do when something like this happens? Like, what were they supposed to do if they weren't going to shut down? Do you have to?
I don't think you have a choice. I'm just telling you
Right.
what's going to happen.
But it makes sense.
Yes. I'm just telling you what's going to happen. But if you're a South African, you're like, come on.
Yeah. But
Now,
like,
now
you
I'm
also
stuck
have
back
to
in my
think,
country?
like, yeah, but what are we supposed to do, y'all? What are we supposed to do?
I don't
This is too much.
It's too much. You know what? Just when we thought it was over, it's not over.
It'll never be.
Yeah. You know, I thought all the Chucky movies were over.
I thought the Halloween movies
But
were
Chucky
over.
keeps coming back.
And
So this
Michael
is like
Myers
this is
keep
this is
coming
this is
back.
like Friday the 13th number 8 already.
Yeah.
Damn, let's get to some fuzzy news.
Please.
All right.
Fuzzy me up.
Let's fuzzy up Yo-Yo,
Yeah.
right? Let's fuzzy him up a little bit, Ian.
Fuzzy me up.
Fuzzy me up one day. Wait, where's my fuzzy news? Screw it up. Here it is. All right, here's my fuzzy news. And the, wait, we'll be back in a second, Yo-Yo. There we are.
There we are. All right.
Okay. And the award, Yo-Yo, to the winner of the Comedy Wildlife Photography Awards, recently announced for Best Picture of an Uncomfortable Monkey, a trio of gossipy raccoons, a joyful bird reunion. Where's the joyful bird reunion?
But that's the overall winner.
That was the overall. Well, no,
monkey.
they include. This was these were the people.
Those were the finalists.
The finalists.
Yes.
Right. It's like best movie goes to.
Right.
And
right,
the finalists are An Uncomfortable Monkey. That's not An Uncomfortable Monkey. A trio of gossipy raccoons. A joyful bird reunion. Is that the joyful bird reunion?
Yes. Yes.
A gravity-defying fish. Where is the gravity-defying fish? There he is, a gravity-defying fish.
Oh, that looks cool.
And an all-powerful
Crazy.
prairie dog.
That looks crazy.
And the winner is, who is the winner?
The monkey.
I don't know.
It's
The
the
winner is the monkey. The monkey who looks like
Look like he in pain.
he looked like he jumped in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
He looked like he
poor
jumped in
guy.
the wrong spot. Yes, and the monkey, the winner, the top prize goes to Ken Jansen. His photo taken in Yunnan, China, shows a golden silk monkey in a rather uncomfortable position
Yikes.
with an appropriately startled look on its face. The monkey said, "Ow!"
Yeah.
Very high-pitched "ow."
How about if he had a deep voice? You never know.
No, but after he
Not
hit
after
himself like that, he's talking like this for the rest of his life. The caption reads, "This is actually a show of aggression. However, in the position that the monkey is in, it looks quite painful."
It definitely does.
I'm going to tell you something. If that's how I have to look aggressive, count me out.
Okay.
Count me out.
Same.
Well, congratulations to the silk monkey in Yunnan, China.
Yes, we've been talking about them.
You
for a
have
while.
won the Comedy Wildlife Photography Award.
Awesome.
And in Istanbul, I was in Istanbul. There's a lot of stray animals, dogs and cats,
Really?
on the streets. Tons of them.
Apparently, not only on the streets now.
Yeah,
huh?
yes. There is an image of Boji, a young shepherd mix with his head cocked to one side, reclining on a seat and cuddling with passengers on various modes of transportation in Istanbul. And Boji has now become an Instagram influencer. The traveling canine has his own Twitter account. He is netting 50,000 plus followers in under a month, as well as an Instagram feed which catalogs his journeys. On a recent day, Boji traveled 30 kilometers, which is nearly 20 miles, making his way across the Bosphorus, known as the Strait of Istanbul. And he is among thousands of street dogs and cats roaming the city. I said I saw a lot of.
Yeah.
Yes, the person who I was with had to stop every block in Istanbul and feed a cat.
Oh.
I didn't get too far. I was feeding a lot of animals in Istanbul. They were very well fed when I was there. That's all I can tell you. And Boji is formally registered by the Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality and can be observed by the large green plastic tag affixed to his ear.
Oh.
So Boji, the Instagram influencer.
Got way more followers than I do.
And
he has no idea.
Spanish police had an unusual encounter a couple of weeks ago. Did you hear about this, Yo-Yo?
Oh, I did.
Yeah, a number of camels escaped the zoo.
Not
Along
hump
with
day.
the llama, they were trying to make Madagascar 4, but the live version of
Right, the
Madagascar
live
4.
version.
The animals were from the Grand Circle Quiros in the Spanish capital, and they were finally located around 5 a.m. Spain's national police confirmed on their Twitter feed, sharing images of the animals walking the streets, signing off with the hashtag We Love Animals. We have pictures of the animals on the
That
streets.
is insane. Could you imagine, like,
This
just
is
being
the
in
circus animals, but
Right.
where are they on the street? Is that
That's them on the street,
That's them on
crossing the
there?
street.
Oh, I see. That's very funny. Can you
Yeah.
imagine?
What?
Can you imagine
No,
that?
I couldn't.
Can you
I'd be
imagine a
scared.
bunch of camels and llamas walking down Fifth Avenue?
Right.
Right. And then, did you hear about the squirrel in North Dakota?
No.
Yes, there's a squirrel in North Dakota, Yo-Yo. He filled up some guy's pickup truck with 52 gallons of walnuts.
What?
Apparently storing all of his walnuts for the winter in this man's pickup truck.
What?
Yes. All of this work, 42 gallons of walnuts, all of this work by one squirrel.
What?
One very hungry squirrel
Wow.
who was going to be well prepared.
Wow.
This squirrel was going to be very well prepared for the winter.
Wow.
Yeah, Bill Fisher of Fargo said he repeatedly spotted the red squirrel climbing on his Chevrolet Avalanche while it was parked outside his home, and he discovered the small animal was filling the vehicle with a large amount of walnuts. Fisher told WDAY-TV.
Oh my God.
You ever watch WDAY-TV in
No.
Fargo, North? No, neither
No.
have I. But he called WDAY-TV, and he says a lot of places in the Radiator Fan all the way through here, that corner has been covered full with walnuts. It was
at
planning
that.
on camping there for the whole winter.
Oh, he took it out.
And that, Yo-Yo, is our Fuzzy Monday. Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.